Welcome to section 21.2. This is the 210th session of the CISSP exam prep series. In this session, we'll shift from threats to defenses. We'll answer several questions. Which platforms actually get targeted by malware? How does anti-malware software spot infections? How does integrity monitoring catch quiet tampering? And what do modern endpoint tools add on top? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because choosing and tuning these controls is a core part of the job. Picture yourself standing up security for a growing design studio with a mix of desktops, laptops, and phones. Pick the wrong assumptions about who gets attacked, and you leave whole devices unguarded. Understand how each defensive layer works, and you build coverage that holds even when one layer misses. Which platforms actually get targeted by malware? For a long time, the answer was overwhelmingly one operating system, because it dominated the desktop and offered the biggest crowd to infect. That is still where most malware aims, but the gap has narrowed. Attackers have followed users onto other platforms, and threats against Mac and mobile devices have climbed sharply. The practical takeaway is simple. No operating system is a safe island. So every device in your fleet needs protection, not just the ones you assume are risky. How does anti-malware software spot infections? Its oldest and most common method is signature-based detection. The tool keeps a huge database of the telltale patterns of known threats and scans your storage against it. When it finds a match, it acts in one of three ways. If it can, it cleans and repairs the affected file. If it recognizes the threat but cannot repair it, it quarantines the file for a human to review. And if policy or the danger level demands, it simply deletes the file to preserve the system. The critical catch is that this defense is only as fresh as its definition file, so without frequent updates, it goes blind to anything new. What does anti-malware add beyond signatures? It adds heuristic, behavior-based detection. Instead of matching a known fingerprint, this approach watches how software actually behaves, flagging red flags like attempts to elevate privilege, hide their tracks, or alter unrelated system files. A common tactic is to quarantine a suspicious file and detonate it inside an isolated, monitored sandbox. If it misbehaves there, the tool blocks it everywhere and rapidly pushes out a new signature. This is why modern products catch far more than viruses, reaching worms, trojans, rootkits, spyware, and more. And a tip worth remembering: if you suspect a fresh outbreak, contact your vendor directly rather than waiting on the next scheduled update. Centralized consoles let you enforce settings and watch alerts across the whole fleet from one place. How does integrity monitoring catch quiet tampering? File integrity monitoring gives you a second, complementary line of defense. It watches for unauthorized changes to files, which makes it great for spotting things like a defaced web page or an unexpectedly modified system executable. It works by storing a hash, a compact fingerprint, for each important file, then recomputing and comparing later. As long as a file is untouched, its hash stays identical. Change even a single byte and the hash shifts dramatically, raising a flag. So if a critical executable suddenly changes with no patch or install to explain it, that is a strong hint of infection. Think of it as a tamper evidence seal on every file you care about. What do modern endpoint tools add on top? They go well beyond classic antivirus, and there are a few names to know. Endpoint detection and response combines traditional protection with deeper analysis of memory, file system, and network activity, automatic isolation of suspicious behavior, live threat intelligence, and automated response. When a vendor runs all of that for you as a service, it is called managed detection and response, easing the load on lean security teams. A related tool, user and entity behavior analytics, builds a profile of each person's normal activity and flags deviations that may signal a compromised account. The key distinction is focus. Endpoint detection watches the device, while behavior analytics watches the user. Next generation platforms increasingly bundle all of these into a single suite. So let's bring it together. No operating system is immune, so protect every device, not just the obvious ones. Signature detection matches known threats and lives or dies by fresh definitions, while heuristic detection watches behavior to catch the unknown. Integrity monitoring uses file hashes as tamper-evident seals against quiet changes. And modern suites layer on endpoint detection, managed services, and user behavior analytics, watching both the device and the person. Stack these thoughtfully, and a threat that slips, one control still meets another. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.